What's going on, everyone? So we got some rumors and some speculation in regards to Gale Weathers and some points for her character, some things that happened to her, and some information and some backstory. But before I dive into it, I do want to say that some of this stuff is potential spoilers. Nothing crazy. It's nothing like, Gale dies or anything like that. It's nothing that would spoil the movie in any way for anybody. But it is something that there are some key details on Gale's just backstory, as well as something that Gale does that, some people might not want to know, that could potentially be a significant plot point in the upcoming Scream 7. So I kind of want to just give everyone an opportunity to get out while they can. So 3, 2, 1. All right, here is that information. So Gale's morning show is canceled. Mental patients is likely ran over by Gale. Notice how they say likely. This doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to happen. The accident happens in front of Sidney's home. So it looks like Gale's on the way to Sidney's house, probably because, her show gets canceled. She's probably like, where do I go? What do I do? Also, we know that they're hiring a reporter, a reporter, and Gale's supposed to be back in the field, right? She's supposed to be back into reporting. So this makes sense. Her show got canceled. What is she going to do? Well, she's going to become a reporter again, right? She's going to get back to the business that she knows. She's going to get back to the work that she knows. So Gale's morning show getting canceled lines up with why she gets back in reporting, because I made a video covering that, and it was like, okay, well, why would she go back into reporting if she had her show? Well, got canceled. Okay, that makes sense. Mental patient is likely ran over, like I said, and if the incident happens in Sidney's home or in front of Sidney's home, kind of makes sense how like everything kind of starts to intertwine. A reporter named Robbie bothers her while she is in town and is looking for his big break. So, first off, let's talk about the running psychiatric patient over. So there was reports and news that came out that there was going to be an escaped mental patient that escapes the psych ward, and then now it looks like Gale is going to run him over. Also, we got images of Fallbrook, which is the town that it appears that this is all going to take place in, that Sidney likely lives in. And then also we got images of the psych ward that they have built and set up. So you're going to see likely that play a significant role in this upcoming Scream movie. I'm curious to see I hope that patient isn't I hope it's just a red herring. And also this kind of links to one of my thoughts, one of my ideas or theories, I guess, for like the psych ward patient, right? The one that escapes. I said I could see it being like an obsessed Sidney fan, or somebody that has ties and connections to Sidney and ended up getting locked up. It would make sense now, if that's the case, that the person got hit outside of Sidney's house because they're on their way to Sidney's house. Right? So you have this escaped patient who has familiarity with Sidney. Maybe they were stalking and obsessed with Sidney, end up tracking Sidney down, end up trying to get to Sidney's house, and then gets hit by Gale, and Gale neutralizes the threat. I could see something along those lines, but we'll see. Time will tell if that's actually the direction that they end up going with it. But I do think that kind of makes some sense. And I think it's going to be interesting to see how does Gale respond to that? How does she take, running somebody over? I mean, her and Sidney, I've talked about this before, Sidney has more blood on her hands than any of the killers. I mean, same thing with Gale. Right? Gale and Sidney have killed more people than Ghostface, right? So, but I mean, still something like this where you're not fighting for your life. You're just trying to go to Sidney's house, and then boom, right? That's got to be something that's a little different. Got to have a little different of an impact on you if something like that were to happen. But I do think that this is very interesting that they're going to go this route with that. But to talk about the kind of reporter side of things, you got this reporter, Robbie. First thing that came to mind immediately, and I might actually dive into this specifically into a video, kind of break this down in a video. I really hope that they don't go Mrs. Loomis, Debbie Salt 2.0, right? Scream 5 and 6 really were like copycat versions of 96 and Scream 2 in many ways. I mean, even the killers and stuff like that were the same and similar. I really don't want that again. I really, like, I'm all for this new reporter coming, and it's a red herring, and we all think that it's, you know, a Mrs. Loomis, Debbie Salt 2.0. But I really hope that they don't do that again, especially with Kevin Williamson at the helm. Like, can we stop ripping off the original films? Can we just, like, tell unique stories? Like, I'm fine with, like, certain elements of it, right? Like, having other reporters, it would make sense that a young reporter would see Gale Weathers and think, like, oh, man, like, maybe I can kind of use her or get some information or, you know, kind of capitalize on her being here. Something like that. Like, sure, fine. Okay, I love that. But can we not make it 2.0? Right? Can we be a little more creative? Can we be a little more different? So I don't know. It's one of those things where I don't want to see them continue to just copy past films, right? But I am all for, kind of like I said, the red herring element, having this reporter that is kind of, you know, you're kind of questioning, okay, is that person evil? Is that person good? Is that person, you know, somebody that we need to really keep an eye on? They're hounding Sidney, or not Sidney, Gale, kind of, because Gale's supposed to be back into the field, you mentioned, and so she's reporting. You got this young reporter that's trying to get all the scoops and trying to undercut Gale, and, you know, kind of doing what Debbie Salt did in a lot of ways, just kind of irritate her, be annoying, kind of be in the way type thing. I'm curious to see if that's the approach that they take, but don't make them the killer, please. Don't make them, you know, Richie's uncle this time, and it's just like, you took out my brother and my nephew and my children and my all that. Like, can we just stay focused here, right? But we'll see what direction they end up going. How do they want to approach this? You know, how, like, is this going to be part 2 or 2.0? Is this going to be a different approach? You know, it'd be kind of cool if, like, that person, like, in the end, Gale and that person work together to kind of help solve this, or, you know, maybe that reporter comes and helps save the day, right? And then Gale and him team up to, you know, whatever, do something. I would prefer that route than what we've gotten in the past, right? Like, what I fear is going to happen. And I've said this in every Scream movie, that's been correct. And I just don't want it to be correct this time. I want them to be more creative. I want them to do different things. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, and I pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you think that, like, yeah, like, please don't do that. Please don't do 2.0. Do you think, like, no, like, you know, no, if it's graded differently and it's not like a relative or something, then fine. It'd still be different enough. How do you feel? Whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos. Truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel. What are you doing? Hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.